Right now, I've gone through like every single volunteer opportunity, and they've all proven to be good.
To our scholars, parents, and our community partners, thank you for tuning in to the newest CrosbyCast, recorded at the Goodwill Career Center in Statesville, North Carolina. I'm your host, W.H. Hayes, and I'm joined today by Kim Yang, Crosby parent and preschool teacher at Playwise in Huntersville, and Oliver Yang, Crosby scholar and student at Woodland Heights. How are y'all today?
Good.
We're good, thank you.
So for our listeners, as we get started, go ahead and kind of explain how you got into Crosby Scholars, how you encountered it, and what ultimately made you decide to join.
It was a summer a couple years ago where we were at the Back to School Bash in Mooresville, and Jimmy Jimerson had a Crosby Scholar booth there and volunteers, and we decided to stop by and talk, knowing I had an idea of what Crosby Scholar was, but I also wanted to introduce it to Oliver. And after getting some pamphlets, some reading material, and talked to Jennifer about what Crosby was about, we were interested. And we got the ball rolling by contacting Zoe because she was the middle school coordinator, and that is history.
Awesome. And out of all of your experiences in Crosby Scholars so far, what would you say has been y'all's favorite memory?
My favorite memory from Crosby Scholars is the Christmas parades. We would march down the streets, like handing out candy to little kids, and it was just a fun time.
I noticed you had the hoodie we gave out this year for the parade. I have the blue version of that one that we gave to the staff, so I see you got it.
He did. This was his second year doing it. The first one was up in Harmony, and that was fun. That was a very cool experience. And to be on the sideline to, pretty much repping Crosby Scholar, that was fun. That was fun. Yeah.
It was pretty cold back then, though, right?
Yeah.
This last one
I
was-
did hear about how chilly it was. So, were you able to stay at least a little warm?
Yeah, a little bit.
Right.
Zoe handed out hot hands to keep us warm. Handing get out.
That's good. Glad to hear you had a way to get and stay warm. All right, so I now kind of want to talk about your career actually, real quick, and just kind of like an example of what a professional career could look like. How did you reach where you are now in your career?
I actually went to school and graduated with a business management degree out west from San Diego State, and I dived right into accounting. So I did tax accounting for several years. I got burned out from tax accounting because it's very rigorous from January to April. It's go time, so there's no downtime. And I did several seasons of that. When I got married and moved out here, I started a family, and after my children were a little older, where I can go back into the workforce, I found out that I love teaching. I taught both of my children early childhood, and it was great. I found my passion. Now, every time I go back and I think, what could I have done different? And I think I could have gone back into early childhood. But this is where I'm at. My background is completely different from what I went to school and what I am now doing today. I'm following a passion, and I love that about where I am today. Teaching little ones, teaching them the foundation because of my two children.
Awesome. And what do you think you might end up I know you probably get asked this a lot, but what are you hoping to be when you grow up?
I want to be like an engineer like my dad. After seeing what he does at work and all of the samples he shows me and all like the plans he's doing, it looks fun. And I'm good at math too.
Yeah, when we were talking earlier, you mentioned that you were really enjoying your sciences and your maths. Do you have a favorite class of all time that you've had in the past?
Well, actually, I had STEM with the combination of them both was my best class I've had.
Science.
Nice.
Okay.
And are there any certain programs that you've maybe heard about that you might have had your eye on yet, or are you still kind of like waiting to see what the world might look like when you're a bit older?
So I've had like an eye on to go to college at UNCC, where they have good engineering programs, and like it's great for robotics too.
Nice. Do you do robotics right now?
Yes.
Ooh, how was that like?
Ooh, it's fun. I'm programming my robot to do various missions right now at school.
Cool. What kind of missions? What are you hoping to accomplish?
So right now I have like a mechanism that will like lift up and drag something around the board, and that can help me gain a lot of points at the competition.
Nice. What is the process of, like, what goes into designing a robot like that?
So you have to keep an eye on the missions, because there will be certain tasks that you have to accomplish, like sliding a lever or lifting something up, and you're gonna have to program like some sort of mechanism to accomplish that mission.
Do you have a memory in robotics that really kind of stands out to you as like when you really got into it truly?
Oh yeah, yes. Last year at competition, our arm wasn't working properly, and with the right mechanisms and tools, we finally got it to be stronger, better, and that's what helped us win a medal.
Oh, so you medaled. Awesome. Yeah. Are you currently in prep for the next robotics competition?
Yes, we're working on it right now.
Awesome. And how's that going?
It's coming good.
What problems are you having to develop for at the moment?
Right now, I'm working on like coding the robot to start moving across the board, and like, completing the tasks.
And what tasks are those going to be?
So there's one where you have to move a lever across to flip a panel. The other one is to push the lever to have something stand straight up, and then the last one is to hit something so hard that a piece comes flying out of it.
Ooh, okay. Seems like there's a lot of different ways you have to kind of like build up those mechanics. Do you have any, if you were to try and explain like the inner mechanics of what goes into solving each of those problems, how would you kind of explain that?
I'd explain it like showing them how piece by piece how it connects and works together, and how the motors help it move.
Nice. And when it comes to what you hope to do, like in high school, maybe, or do you hope to kind of do robotics all the way through your academic career before college?
I could.
Nice. My next question is kind of what are you looking forward to when it comes to stuff in Crosby? Are there any programs that you've heard about that you want to try out? Is there anything that you've seen from the program that you want to kind of get into? Anything like that?
Right now, I've gone through like every single volunteer opportunity, and they've all proven to be good. And like they help me connect to new places where I can volunteer, and helps me get more hours to help them out.
Nice. Is there any volunteer opportunity that you've participated in so far that really kind of stands out as a memory?
A couple of days ago, I went to Fish Street Ministries, and we were down in the basement, like sorting through donations. I walked across the whole building like 3 times, taking stuff one place to another, and sorting through clothes.
Awesome. Did you happen to meet Brenna there?
Yeah, I met Brenna Hayes.
Yeah, that's my little sister.
She's your little sister.
That is my little sister.
I gotta say, she did a great job because she was leading, and she was telling a whole group of high school students and middle school students on what they needed to do, and we actually quite accomplished. I was there too. I was volunteering too as well. So we accomplished quite a bit of task, and it looks awesome. But hey, congratulations to her.
Yeah, awesome. I'm glad y'all had a great time, and I'm glad Brenna was doing good too.
Yeah. So I just wanted to add to his comment of volunteering. So over the summer, we heavily were involved with the Kindness Closet down in Mooresville with Ann Martner, where she is the only hygiene bank that service North Carolina and I believe several other states. We picked that organization because it holds close to our heart. They give out hygiene kits to all the schools in ISS, and obviously wherever there is a need. And we have probably, how many hours do you think?
Over a day of hours.
So over 24 hours if you were to combine all the hours that we have given. And we love coming into an organization where we can provide not only just the help, but to also think about how else can we help, with the projects that they've done and all the needs that was needed. So like, for example, the Hurricane Helene, there was a huge need of hygiene products, and Anne did a humongous task where we were able to gather all of the products and pack as a group. And that was shipped off. And so our I love that we can be a little small trio with my younger son, and our effects, can go wide. And I love that Crosby Scholar not only just gives us the opportunity to feel other organization that has a need, and to also see what other aspect and other needs that needs to be filled.
What kind of recommendations would you give to somebody who's possibly considering Crosby Scholars or possibly just wanting to serve in the community in general?
I'd tell them to join Crosby Scholars. It's a great opportunity to help out your community, and plus with that, you can get great scholarships to colleges.
For me, it would be the exposure. To expose as young as 6th grade all the way up to 12, Crosby gives you a stepping stone. The amount of resources that I have seen Crosby pull out, our monthly newsletters that Zoe puts out for middle schools, she brings up lots of topics. What do we want to see? What do we want to hear? What I have enjoyed the most seeing is how can Crosby help with study habits? Because that was one of the topics. How can you help within your community? How can you be a better student? So we've had other friends that ask us, what does Crosby do? What does Crosby provide for your child? And I say, to me, it's exposure, not only to students that are within your school, because that could be small. It's also other students that are part of our community. And Iredell Statesville School is a huge county, so it gives us an exposure to other students as well.
And my last question is something I like to ask all my guests, just because I think it's a nice way to kind of end things off. Is there anything at the moment that y'all are thankful for that you just kind of want to shout out and appreciate?
Ooh, I'm thankful for all the opportunities Zoe and the rest of the Crosby team has put onto our newsletters.
I mean, you guys are doing a wonderful job, and to be able to expose all these kids to so many different opportunities, fun and some serious, and all the one of them was Bella's backpack that we packed during what was that one?
It was Hurricane
Helene. So the summer programs that comes out that they can be involved in, I think it's wonderful opportunities. And Crosby Scholar across the board, it's out there, and I'm glad that it's out there, because if it wasn't, we wouldn't be able to know anything else that's around, because it's tough to get word out and to find resources for especially kids his age.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kim Yang and Oliver Yang, thank y'all so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.